Creating new roles with custom access control in Cornerstone is real easy and is shown in a separate video. This video, however, is for the more advanced user who would like to really fine-tune access control. Access control in Cornerstone is based on modules. So we do not give access to or not access to individual objects in modules, it's to modules. So if you have a real need to have some internal documents, some external documents, some really internal documents, just make 3 document modules and set the rights accordingly. Okay, so let's go to the group tab in the toolbar here and go to access. Here we have 4 specific roles with access levels. Group guest, which all groups have, because that's the least role you can have. Doesn't mean you have any rights, but whatever rights you have as a guest, there you will find it. And a guest is a person who does not have any specific role here or is not even signed in. Here we have 4 different roles: leader, member, and hangaround. All those are defined specifically for this group. And what I would like to do is first to check out group guest. In group guest, we can see module by module that the only ones turned on here are these 2. So the website and the articles. All the others are inaccessible, so those parts will not be displayed. If you're a guest, you will simply not see the images or the calendar events or documents, for instance. A very cool thing about this is that if you have the need to quickly turn something off, you're in a state of emergency, and you just, for certain groups, certain roles, or maybe everyone, you just need to turn off the website. You just click here. That's it. The website is turned off. And a good thing is, for everyone except owners, of course, owners will always have access. And even though group guests were now turned off, does not mean that other roles, of course, might not have explicit access to the website. But an important thing to grasp that I did not go into depth about in the simpler role video is that every role is based upon guest. It's not possible to define a custom role like leader or member without resting upon the basic access rights given in guest. So you're not able to or allowed to give a guest more access than anyone else, because all roles will by default be built upon the minimum shared rights in the guest role. So therefore it's often wise to define the guest role first, and in the other roles just define the changes, so that when you do changes in the group guest, it will penetrate through all the other roles. If that's what you're after, of course. Might not be, but now you know. So let's turn this on again and check the details of the articles here. So the articles module, I have given the guest rights to the module role reader and the module role writer. A module role are the 4 things seen here, which differs a little between modules, but it's just predefined sets of access permissions. So the system comes with some predefined sets of suggested best practice access permissions that we call module roles. So if you want to get it up real quickly, just choose one of those, and they have fairly intuitive names: reader, writer, editor, admin. Okay, so let's save and go back to our hangaround role and go a little bit more into depth. The hangaround role has a lot more modules, and as you can see, it's not possible to turn the website or articles off, because they're on for guests. Then it cannot be off for hangarounds who are given members. So let's check out the articles. And here it says, wonder why some choices are green. That's because all roles build upon the guest role and its permissions. You'll have green permissions as long as they are part of the guest role. So here it will be explicitly clear for you. By the way, I'm just closing this. It will be explicitly clear for you what's inherited from the guest role. So the reader and writer is shown as green, so they're inherited from the guest role, no matter what I do. And I'm actually not even allowed to remove the check mark here. And the admin module role is added to it. So the Hangaround has the guest access privileges of reader and writer plus the access privileges given in the admin module role. So let's press show add advanced customization to see what that means in practice. Because one thing you also need to know was that before I gave these rights to the guest role, the Hangaround role had explicit writer module role. And if I remove that from group guest now, it will be retained still, remembered in the Hangaround role. And that I can see down here. These are all the custom access rights. Here are the module roles, and here are the custom access rights. So those who are orange are from admin here. Those who are orange with a green border are both explicitly given in the Hangaround role, but are also an inheritance from guests. So wherever defined, you will have it, because both roles have explicitly chosen those. And yeah, and if there were some that were only inherited from the guest role, they would be completely green, just like you have up here. Okay, so let's just briefly see what the structure of the advanced customization is. First, you'll list up all the module windows, and you can group select up here for all in that column, because you have for each module window here, you have the right to place that module window on a page when you are in design mode, the right to actually use it, which means that basically you're allowed to see it, the right to edit the properties of it when in design mode, and the rights to delete it from the page. So for each module window you have those rights. And also the rights to see the module pages icon down in the toolbar, and most have some specific services or custom permissions. I will not go into those, as those are kind of black belt access permissions. But here you have some more common advanced ones. So we have articles, article authors, and article lists. Those are the three types of objects you have in an article module. And for all of them we have create, read, update, and delete. So you can choose which ones you do have. So it doesn't matter if you have access to, for instance, the edit article view. If you do not have the right to edit articles, you will not be able to save the article once or even try to change it. So that's it. You have the module roles that are inherited from guests, and you can do place on page, use, edit properties, delete from page for each module window, and you can create, read, update, delete each kind of object type. And this goes for all the modules, of course, but with different sets of module windows and different sets of objects.